All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the third week of 2024. I got your watch list for you. I got the plays and all the events for the rest of the week, but I thought I would start off this video with a couple of fun facts as we are getting the year started. And to start with the first one, we are 3 days away from another government funding debacle, 69 days away from the first rate cut if we get that in March, 82 days away from the national debt going up another $1 trillion, 172 days until the U.S. yield curve would reach the longest period of inversion since 1929, and then 299 days until the election. So if that doesn't get you excited and that's not fun enough, maybe you'll like this one. In the last 90 years, there has been only 5 other times where the Fed has cut rates where CPI, core CPI, was higher than unemployment, and all of those events, in 4 of them, there was already a recession started, and the other one was war in 1942. So as far as the market so far to start off the year is down by like 0.5%. Oil commodities, they're off by 0.5 as well. Gold is down by 2.1, and to start off the year leading, it is crypto up 2.9% and the US dollar up 1.0. So a couple of weeks in, we've had a little bit of sell-off, a little bit of buying up. We've had 2 big data sets. We don't have that much craziness this week, but we're still going to get more earnings and stuff to react to. But this whole rate cut narrative and how it is controlling everything, my oh my, is it there? Now, to get into the charts, I got 3 different ones I'm going to show to you, and I will explain these a little bit more as we get throughout the video, but I got to start with the first one. U.S. growth mega cap versus the smaller cap growth. It is lagging behind the most that it's done in a very long time. Same thing even with the smaller caps. You go over here to freight and shipping. I'm sure you've seen what's been going on with everything in the Red Sea. Well, you have now had the biggest jump in freight over the past 6 weeks. The last time we've had this happen was 2021 with all of this stuff with the war and wheat and energy and all of that stuff. Other than that, it was September 2016 and June of 2012. And then finally, this one's probably the most important one. In the midst of everybody getting excited about the bonds and the rate cuts, the real yields have dropped. But anytime the real yields have been going up and the market has been ripping, you have been getting into a bubbly environment, and that's where now we should probably be looking, especially as data and a lot of things starts moving the bonds. So I'm going to get all into these a little bit more, especially when we go into the plays. But Chad, what I need from you, a thumbs up on the video. Make sure you're subscribed, and if you don't know, we are live Monday through Friday, 30 minutes before open, youtube.com/TheStackMarket. We will see you there in the morning. Run it, baby.
Working to the couch, it's the 2020 election. Live in the hills, but still get a spread. Started with a live, but still reinvest it. Feel how I feel, then you feel like a blessing. I just want the lesson, I just want protection. I'm up and I'm down, but the sound like progression. Farmer never plans if he waits for perfection. Finger to the down, hold it.
All right, off the bat, we got more earnings this week. Less tech companies, Netflix, and all the other guys are going to be next week. We'll go over the calendar in a little bit, but then besides that, you will be getting some of the middle ground data. We got retail sales and consumer sentiment. The market may be prone to react, but you just had the non-farm payrolls and CPI. That's kind of been the set-all be-all, but we'll see how that plays out. And then overseas, you're going to be getting the China GDP. You just had a Taiwanese election that China did not like, and then on top of that, we're going to be getting the Germany ZEW index, and today they had data. They avoided a recession, and then tomorrow you're going to be getting UK unemployment. So we'll see if that factors in to any of those euro close moves that we've been seeing. But as far as the earnings tomorrow, pre-market, we're going to wake up to it. You got Goldman Sachs, Morgan Stanley, Applied Blockchain, I thought it was a science company, PNC, First Bank, a bunch more of the banks, even after hours. You're going to get a couple of those. Schwab on Wednesday, Prologis on Wednesday morning, more banks, Alcoa after the close, Discover, Kinder Morgan for oil, TSMC, this might be our first chip company, and even, or not first chip, but tech company this week, and then a couple of more, and you start to see the calendar starts to get a little bit more filled. And then before you know it, next week is going to be the tech earnings. So that's what we have for this week. As far as everything else, we do have a ton of Fed speakers, and this is where it's going to get interesting. We've heard from a couple of them already. There's a lot of new voters, and that's something I'll tell you to watch out for this week. Some of the Fed speakers we had last year, they would say stuff, but they weren't voters. But now that it's a new year, some of these guys are voters now. One big example is Bostic, and he is going to be speaking again this week. But the way I've been seeing these Fed speakers, it's kind of been 2 steps forward and 1 step back. What do I mean by that? You've had 2 Fed speakers come on. They pushed back about rate cuts. They said, no, it's not going to be soon. We got to wait for this. They talk about quantitative tightening, and that was good. But then the next Fed speaker, he would say something that was borderline bullish. Again, Mr. Goolsbee, he is probably one of the more bullish people. He kind of said something a little less bullish the other day, but he let it be known he's kind of on the lower end of the dot plot. But the point is, we are going to hear from them. If the script stays the same, then everybody's going to be focusing on the broader dynamic with bonds and everything else. But if it does change, those Fed speakers might be able to give us some juice this week, as we're only waiting for 2 other data sets in the retail sales and the consumer sentiment. So watch out for that. And then the final key I'm going to give you, I told you the breakdown here to start off the video. Crypto is the leader of the year so far, but the dollar is number 2. We've spent 2 weeks going down, then going up, but in the midst of all of it, the one thing that has been staying very strong, it has been the dollar. And that's something I've been telling you, watch out until Powell or earnings kind of derails this dollar strength. Otherwise, if it gets too strong, we're going to have a problem. But now, you guys remember when I was telling you about 4% bond yields kind of being anything below that, not being that good, and how the market would interpret it? Well, I have another one for you today, and that has to do with the DXY. So if you're not familiar with the DXY, that is the dollar. We use the UUP index, and you can see that on any chart. But if you come down to trading economics, you'll see DXY under Forex, and this is the broader dollar index. And what some people have been talking about is that a print below $100. So if you watch the dollar weaken very, very fast and it goes down below 100, that could be the market signaling that we have a policy mistake, and that means Powell is probably either going to have to cut too soon, or the idea of cutting too soon might cause some problems. It's going to be a little bit tricky, but I love having guidelines like this, because $100 on the dollar, ever since like 2020, this has been a pretty big and important level. So watch out for that. As far as everything else, I already went over the charts. If I could focus on any of them right now, I'd want you to see this chart right here. And what it's showing you is the abnormal outperformance of large cap growth versus value. You are watching, to start off this year, large cap companies are outperforming the value plays, even on the small cap level as well too. And this is weird, because think about how we started off this year. It was all about the small caps, and then very quickly that slowed down. Why I'm bringing this up, I'm still in my Russell plays. I do think this is going to be an opportunity of this year. Either we're going to watch this totally fail, or as things play out after this earnings and everything else, we may be watching for this gap to close, and it's on both a bigger cap and smaller cap level. So that's the first one, but like I was just showing you with the dollar, the other one that I want you to see, no, not that one, but this one, and it will relate into some of the plays, but the way people are looking at the bonds right now, you've watched a massive rally over the last couple of months, but people are still getting bullish on the bonds because they believe that the real rates right now on the 10-year are too low. Anytime we had high real rates, something would end up popping in the market, and then people started to shy away from bonds, and then the Fed would cut, and then people start to get back into the bonds. We've had a couple of things right here that have moved the bond yields or the real yields around, but now with inflation dropping the way it is and people expecting a lot more, this is giving a setup where people are absolutely loving the bonds right now. And as we move forward for this year, I would keep an eye out this. If you watch bond yields go lower and then the inflation rate goes lower, the real yields, if they keep moving at the same pace, we don't have a problem. But if inflation comes back up, the yields are low, this is where that problem would start. And then this will be one of those risk factors to watch for this year. And then above all all else, like I told you to start this video, we are about 172 days away where, let's say this situation we're in now continues, rates go lower, inflation goes lower, and the yield curve stays uninverted. That will be the longest inversion of the yield curve since 1929. So watch out for all of it, but I hope these charts prepare you, because now let us get into the plays. So right off the bat, I got a couple of different plays for you, and the first one, I'm starting off with the bonds. I'm in the ZB. This is a 30
Order submitted. Order canceled. Order submitted. Order filled. Target filled.
Are we live? Wait for it. Wait for it. Oh, there it is. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. I hope you're having a wonderful day. If you're watching this and it does not say live at the bottom of the screen, unfortunately, you're watching the recap. The good news is we are live Monday through Friday, 30 minutes before open. Drop your thumbs up on the video. Make sure you're subscribed. You're on mobile. Press hot chat. X out the chat. Hit the thumbs up button. Second link for the nightly Watch Listen main channel. First link for the Scream Alerts boot camp and real estate course. But ladies and gentlemen, welcome to week 3 of 2024. You are already waking up. You had a holiday yesterday. The way it's looking now, everybody kind of debating everything from elections, but mainly all the way down to the rate cuts. What's going to happen with the Fed? What's going to happen with the ECB? You had bad China news. They didn't cut rates. They said they wanted to add more liquidity. Everybody kind of getting hesitant, even though that's not what we closed on last week. So, Chad, we have a lot to deal with. It's already a pretty big move. Futures are down about almost 0.5%. Bonds are almost down 1%. The dollar is up again. Gold came down. Oil is up because of everything going on overseas. So we'll see how it all plays out by the end of the day. But to start off the week, it's not so good. You even had earnings. Goldman Sachs, Bank of America, Morgan Stanley and Goldman Sachs, they beat, but they missed on some of the stuff that the other banks last week beat on, and it's putting you in a very interesting position. So, Chattadonia, I hope you're ready for all of it. I hope you are refreshed and ready to go. You had one extra day. We do have data. You even got a Fed speaker coming on at 11 a.m. Eastern, so we'll see how it all gets down. But Chattadonia, I missed ya. Good morning, baby. What's up, Lori? How you living, Najee Wolf? Good morning. Awaz, Lucky J, Tim Whitman, Guts for the Long Term, Nope, Zuraz, Monica, Mopar. Good morning, baby. How you living, Candy? Jerry Woods, Winning Loser, Humble Business. Good morning. Mavis, Me Not You, Shane McBride, Dan Kingsley, Malcolm King, Angel Rojas, baby. Good morning, Ray Araya, baby. How you living? Sons of Averaging, John, Ari, Mr. Socorri, Joe, Paul Castro, S-Dub for Mayor. Good morning, baby. What up, Alaskan Assassin? How you living, Sassy? How you living, Catherine? Good morning, Wild Style, Sean Burke, Youngblood, Carissa Hines. Oh, good morning. Open Face Sandwich ready to go. Lucky Soldier, Pear, TNT, Ian Hutchinson, Jerry Woods, Kenny Dean, Miami boy, oh, Miami. Good morning, baby. What up, Kelvin? How you living, Dinosaur? Mr. Riley Max, Remixable, El Trapado, Rami, Got a Blunt. Oh, I got a okay. I got a blur. I'll take it, man. What's up, Lucas? Alex Lozano, Cam Tour, Jesse Burke, Wandering, Julio, Laker, J. Oh, good morning, baby. What up, Philippe? What up, Christina? Good morning, Julio, Ali, Mr. Godfather, Rocky Top, Gonzalo, Ben Stone, Matthew Warman, the banking system, Jason Owen, Mr. Matt Taylor, Nick Soto. Good morning, baby. What about that Twitch? Where y'all at, baby? What up, Woodrow? Good morning, Feed Me Seymour, Mr. Belvedere, Lizio, and she gifted. Good morning. Most Dope Andy, Senkow Hustle, More Fati Trev, Young Pickle, Mr. Mother Liquor, Woodrow, Big Curly, Payday Devil, Unani, Ibex, El Coyote, Mr. Blow and Doll, Feed Me Seymour again, Hicks Plays, S. Jones Jix, Lizzie, Danny V, Angelo Barcelona, JG Industries, Alfredo, Slizzin, Woo Ala, was it Woo Ala? I can't say that. Woo Ala, I don't know. Sim Race Review, Preforms, Mr. Most Dope, El Coyote once again, and Robo Ham Tech, and we got Devlin up there. Yes, good to see you, baby. Good morning. Here we go, the roller coaster. There's also bad data. So we were down, and then really bad Empire manufacturing data came out, and then you popped up here. But it's probably going to be a lot of wickedness back and forth, man. How way to start off the week, huh? Good morning. Good morning. So speaking of starting things off, Let's get into the news. U.S. futures pair losses after upbeat bank earnings. Solid results from Wall Street Titans provided a ray of light amid a retreat from global stocks as central bank officials pushed back against bets on aggressive interest rate cuts. Futures on the S&P 500 paired losses after the Goldman Sachs and Morgan Stanley posted earnings that beat estimates in key business areas. Shares of both lenders rose more than 1% pre-market before fading. By contrast, banks in Europe led a decline that pushed the benchmark stock Europe 600 to a 5-week low after JP Morgan analysts said that lending revenue will be capped by peak in interest rates. The MSCI Asian Pacific lost 1.5%, the most in 3 months. Two-year Treasury yields rose by 6 basis points to 4.21, while an index of the dollar climbed 0.7 to a 1-month high. Market positioning for aggressive rate cuts in the U.S. and Europe is being tested by hawkish comments from policymakers, including the European Central Bank, Francois Villeroy de Gallo, who said that it's too early to declare victory on inflation. Traders are awaiting Reserve Governor Christopher Waller's speech later on Tuesday for cues on timing of a Fed rate cut, with money markets seeing a 2 in 3 chance of a reduction in March. Central banks push back on rate cuts as it's not helping risky assets, said Mohit Kumar, chief European economist at Jefferies. The market has gotten a bit ahead of itself. Bolstering the case for early rate cuts was a report showing that the New York State factory activity deteriorated sharply at the start of 2024 on declining orders and shipments, consistent with persistent struggles for manufacturers across the U.S. The dollar paired their advance after the data. European stocks trimmed losses after ECB's monthly survey showed consumer expectations for Eurozone inflation fell to the lowest in more than 1.5 years in November. Money markets held interest rate cut wagers broadly steady after the ECB data, pricing in the first quarter-point reduction by April, followed by almost 5 more by year-end. ECB Governing Council member Robert Holtzman indicated on Monday that cuts were not assured given lingering inflation and geopolitical risk. His sentiment echoed prior comments from ECB President Christine Lagarde, warning that it's too early to talk about trimming borrowing costs. A raft of ECB speakers are on the WEF roster for Wednesday. Economic data in the UK, meanwhile, supported the case for Bank of England rate cuts in the coming months, with wage growth cooling at the fastest pace on record. The pound weakened as much as 0.8 against the dollar, and gilt yields edged lower. Elsewhere, crude prices rose after the Wall Street Journal reported that British oil major Shell suspended shipments through the Red Sea indefinitely after U.S. and U.K. strikes on Yemen's Houthi rebels triggered fears of further escalation. Global crude benchmark Brent cost $79 a barrel, while West Texas Intermediate topped $73. Key events this week: Christopher Waller today, China GDP, property, retail sales, and industrial production on Wednesday, Eurozone CPI on Wednesday, UK CPI on Wednesday, U.S. retail sales and industrial production and business inventories on Wednesday, Federal Reserve issues Beige Book survey on Wednesday, European Central Bank Christine Lagarde speaks at Davos on Wednesday, New York Fed President John Williams on Wednesday, Australia unemployment on Thursday, Japan industrial production on Thursday, European Central Bank publishes account of December policy meeting on Thursday, U.S. housing starts initial jobless claims on Thursday, Atlanta Fed President Raphael Bostic on Thursday, Japan CPI on Friday, U.S. existing home sales, University of Michigan consumer sentiment on Friday, U.S. Congress faces deadline to pass spending agreement for part of the federal government shuts down on Friday, and San Francisco Fed President Mary Daly on Friday. My goodness. Apple a little lower. Clear frontrunner. Countries around the world are preparing for Trump's possible return to the White House after the former U.S. president cruised to victory in Iowa Republican presidential caucus and established himself as the party's clear frontrunner. This puts Trump back on track for a Biden rematch. A Trump victory in November could result in sweeping changes for U.S. policies on trade, overseas conflict, taxes, and civil rights, concerns that will no doubt be front of mind for business leaders and policymakers at the World Economic Forum on Davos on today. Trump still faces 91 criminal charges in 4 separate cases, including some over his efforts to overturn the 2020 election. But so far, the legal jeopardy has only energized his Republican supporters. Hear more on the podcast. Dollar surges. The dollar hit a 1-month high as Treasury yields climbed on growing speculation that the Fed may hold back on cutting interest rates as early as March. The Bloomberg Dollar Index rose by 0.4 to the highest level since December 13 as cooling demand for risky assets boosts the greenback after Monday's holiday. A possible pivot to rate cuts has been the focus of markets after a series of cooler inflation readings, but increasingly, traders believe bets on more aggressive rate cuts may have been overdone. This comes after ECB Council member Robert Holtzman said threats stemming from lingering inflation and geopolitical risk may prevent the ECB from lowering interest rates this year. Investors are awaiting the speech by Fed Governor Waller, scheduled later today. And remember, Waller is usually bullish. At least he has been. China's bold stimulus effort. China is considering 1 trillion won of new debt and issuance under so-called special sovereign bond plan as authorities seek more money to finance efforts to shore up the world's second largest economy. The proposal under discussion of senior policymakers would involve the sale of ultra-long sovereign bonds to projects related to food, energy, supply chains, and urbanization. It would be the fourth of such kind in the past 26 years and would highlight the shift in spending responsibility from local officials to China's central authorities. Meanwhile, as China's unprecedented housing slump continues, major Chinese lender Ping An Bank has put 41 developers on a list of billers eligible for funding support as they consider more lending to a property sector in crisis. Apple pulls disputed tool. Apple is planning to remove its blood oxygen feature from its latest smartwatch, the Series 9 and Ultra 2, to get around the U.S. ban on devices after their appeal and decision fails. The plan was disclosed by tech company Massimo, which has been locked in a feud with Apple over patent related to the technology. The International Trade Commission ruled in October that Apple's devices violated Massimo's patent related to blood oxygen measurement. That led Apple to pause sales of smartwatches just ahead of Christmas, though an interim stay allowed the company to bring the products back late last month. A decision of Apple's request for permanent stay on the ban during the appeal is expected to come in the next few days. More major U.S. banks report. Wall Street heavyweights Morgan Stanley and Goldman are among the companies reporting today. Oh, that's delayed. S&P futures are down by 0.4% Tuesday morning, finishing off of worse levels, coming after U.S. equities finished last week with upside leadership from mega-cap tech, semis, builders, and select retailers. Treasuries are weaker with a bit of curve steepening after yields moved lower last week. Dollar index is up by 0.7 on broad-based strength. Gold is off by 0.4. Bitcoin futures are down by 1.6, and WTI crude is flat. More defensive tones seen to be the function of tighter financial conditions, higher yields, and stronger dollar stemming from latest thoughts of global markets may be too aggressive when it comes to 24 easing expectations. While quantitative tightening speculation continues to heat up, this is being driven by reserve and reverse repo functioning dynamics and not the Fed's desire to ease policy. Also, some negative headlines surrounding the likes of Apple, Tesla, and Boeing, in addition to sell-side firms, continuing to highlight the challenging positioning and sentiment dynamics coming off a big quarter four rally. January New York Fed manufacturing survey unexpectedly dropped to its lowest since May of 2020 and one of the worst levels in a series history, reflecting a still challenging manufacturing backdrop. Some Fed speak on the radar with Fed Waller at 11. Recall, Waller helped unleash the Fed's dovish pivot even before the December meeting. Higher profile headlines, earnings over the last few days have revolved around more discussion and potential for a QT tapering announcement. Fed President Bostic's comments about slowing disinflation momentum, potential unexpected fiscal boosts if U.S. lawmakers back a deal of $70 billion worth of tax breaks, seemingly coordinated with ECB pushback against rate cuts, despite notable decline in inflation expectations. China's decision is not to cut the MLF rate. The speculation China could deliver $139 billion of stimulus via a so-called special sovereign bond plan. Apple reportedly offering 5% off of iPhone 15 in China amid speculation about softer sales. Other reports noted customs determined redesigned Apple Watches can be imported to the U.S. Tesla on the defensive after Elon Musk said he would prefer to build AI products outside of the company if he does not get 25% voting control. Boeing, another laggard, and extended 737-9 MAX grounding also caught sell-side downgrade by Wells Fargo. Uber to close down alcohol delivery service Drizzly, which it bought 3 years ago for $1.1 billion on the earnings front. Goldman has beat as IB held up a little bit better. Equities revenue looks strong. Provisions came in lighter, though FICC missed Morgan Stanley. They beat with upside in wealth management and IB among the highlights. PNC disappointed on 2024 revenue guidance. Yeah, bro. Elon kind of going crazy. We'll talk about it. But pretty much he tweeted that he wants 25% ownership. So he's pretty much saying he doesn't want to build AI companies unless he gets more voting rights. He wants more shares. He wants a sweeter compensation package. That's how he gets the 25% if you're unfamiliar. China is weighing $1 trillion, 1 trillion yuan, $139 billion of new debt under so-called special sovereign bond plan. William Lai Ching-te won the Taiwan presidential election on Saturday, as expected, securing a third term in power for Democratic Progressive Party. Lai took 40% of the vote, followed by Hu Yu-ai from Kuomintang. At 33%, the KMT is considered the more conciliatory towards China, and Ko Wen-ji from Taiwan's People Party at 26%. Apple is offering a rare discount of $70 in China. ECB Holtzman warns markets not to expect the first rate cut in April and says there may not be decreases anytime this year. Houthi militants hit a U.S.-owned container vessel with a missile in the Gulf of Aden. Gibraltar Eagle carrying steel products suffered limited damage. Washington warned merchant ships to avoid the area. PM Rishi Sunak told Parliament that the UK wants to reduce tensions of the airstrikes as they are self-defense. Though the Federal Reserve stopped raising interest rates last summer, it is quietly tightening monetary policy through another channel, shrinking the $7.7 trillion holdings of bonds and other assets by around $80 billion a month. Now that too may change. Fed officials are starting deliberations on slowing, though not ending, the so-called quantitative tightening as soon as their policy meeting this month. Biden's campaign raises $97 million in quarter four and has $117 million of cash on hand, formidable numbers to provide an important monetary tailwind for the president heading into November. Trump dominates Iowa as expected with 51%, following DeSantis at 21% and Haley at 19.9%, while Ramaswamy exits the race with 7.7% showing. Global core inflation picked up modestly in December on a one-month basis, but the three-month annualized rate has slowed further to 2%. We still expect the Fed to start easing in March with a total of 5 cuts in 24, slightly less than market pricing. ECB should follow in April and the Bank of England in May, and our views are both central banks are somewhat dovish relative to market pricing. By contrast, we expect only modest macro policy easing in China, despite sluggish policy growth and very low inflation. The combination of falling inflation, easier monetary policy, and solid growth should provide a friendly backdrop for riskier assets. Don't worry, there's more. Bond market faces uncertainty as fiscal concerns clash with rate cut expectations amid bullish sentiment. Morgan Stanley Wilson says slash EPS estimates creating optimal platform for U.S. companies to deliver beats. Consensus profit forecasts have been going up, but history shows rate cuts don't bode well for earnings. Apple weakens after hours following news the company is offering a rare iPhone discount in China. Boeing will add further quality inspections to 737 MAX amid their mid-air blowout of cabin panel on Alaskan Airlines flight. Musk says it would be comfortable growing Tesla to be a leader in AI and robotics without having 25% of voting control. TSMC's quarter four profit slide to 23%. Analysts expect they'll predict better growth this year on the back of rebounding demand. China's stock market regulators and sovereign wealth funds look to stabilize equity markets. China considering $1 trillion of new debt issuance. Some asset managers prepare for China's stock market rebound, citing attractive valuations. China quarter four GDP growth seen picking up with activity data mostly lackluster. China's offshore credit market, calmest in years, will be tested in the coming months by maturities, property weakness. Eurozone consumer expectations show noticeable decline in inflation expectations. German investor morale improves on ECB easing expectations. UK wage growth slowed in the 3 months to November, suggesting easing inflationary pressures. Japan wholesale inflation registers first flat read since early 2021. Australian consumers remain deeply pessimistic on cost of living continues to bite. ECB Villeroy says likely to start lowering borrowing costs this year, but the exact timing will depend on data. Trump wins Iowa GOP caucuses. Houthis fire missile at U.S.-owned cargo ship following U.S. airstrikes against their facilities and limited damage reported. Iran launches missile strikes against targets in Syria and northern Iraq, fueling fear of broader regional conflagration. Ship sailing through Red Sea contended with soaring insurance costs, making it cost-effective for some to reroute to around Africa. But Chatadonia, that looks to be it, man. That looks to be it for the news. We got a lot of plays here, so let's see what we're dealing with. WDC, they're up by 3.8. Deutsche Bank upgrade. SQM up 2.8, has gradually resumed operations at Sailor de Alcantara site. AMD up 1.5. Goldman Sachs 1.4 off earnings. Morgan Stanley, both of those have flipped, so those are out of date. Target is up by 1.1. Morgan Stanley upgrade. VTR up 1.0. Bank of America upgrade. Docu up by 0.9. Morgan Stanley downgrade. More up 15.6. Morgan Stanley downgrade. SGML up 4.5. FLNC up 3.4. BMO Capital upgrade. Wayfair up 3.2, Morgan Stanley upgrade, Bros up 2.3, Stifel upgrade, Cohair up 1.8, Barclays upgrade, Rum up 1.8, Laser up 1.8, NXT up 1.8, Goldman Sachs initiates buy, HMST is up by 24%, all stock merger with First Sun Capital. BANL up 17.8, LAES up 15.9, ACRS up 15.8, CEO changes strategic review, Taste up 12.6, QSR to acquire remaining shares of $9.55 in cash, GANX up 7.7, SLDB up 7.0, FDA drug orphan drug designation for SGT 003, Lunar up 6.5, DWAC up 6.0, Trump wins Iowa caucus, CAPT up 5.6, OM up 3.2, ANIX up 3.0, IMMX up 2.9, ARQT up 2.7, new individual patient response data, EBS is up by 2.4, CLPT 2.4, ZIM up 5.0, FRO and all other shippers and tankers going up amid Red Sea tensions. Uranium stocks higher. All of them are going up again. UVROY 4.0, UEC 2.3, UUU 1.1. WIT down 6.1, profit taking. CLSA downgrade to sell. Baidu down 4.3 off of nothing, but probably related to that sanction or potential sanction off of the Ernie bot military use. AstraZeneca down 3.2, UBS to assume sell. Coupang down 3.2, Boeing down 2.5, Wells Fargo downgrade. CNHI down 2.5, Tesco down 2.5, Morgan Stanley downgrade. FTNT down 2.5, Morgan Stanley downgrade. Unity down 2.2, EQT down 2.1, 5 down 2.1, Craig Hallam downgrade. Gold down 2.0, PNC down 1.9 off of earnings. Firm is down 1.9, NTAP down 1.9, Raymond James downgrade. PayPal down 1.8, Mizuho downgrade. DD down 1.8, Bank of America downgrade. CE down 1.8, Bank of America downgrade. Apple down 1.7, offering 5% off of iPhone 15 in China, January 18th to January 21. DoorDash down 1.6, CHK down 1.5, Tesla down 1.3, Musk uncomfortable growing Tesla to be a leader in AI and robotics without having 25% control. Illumina down 1.3, HSBC downgrade. Synopsys down by 0.5, confirms agreement to acquire Ansys. Ansys down 0.4 to be acquired by Synopsys. Bumble down 4.7, SPR down 3.5, Open down 3.1, SG down 3.0, Upstart down 2.7, ALLK down 54% to restructuring to focus on development of AK006, AXDX down 19%, 4.5 million unit offering, Newbie down 8.3, APLD down 15.9 off of earnings, GOL down 9.4 considering filing Chapter 11. Then SWVL down 7.2, and then European financials all trading lower. Ba-da-bop-bop-bop. Chatadonia. Not too bad. I think we got a little bit of time. I got a couple of plays. I'm going to be watching Boeing, Goldman, Morgan Stanley, PNC. Again, all the banks pretty much did bad. They missed on the things the banks did good on last week. We have those Boeing plays. They should be in the money, so we'll see where theirs open up. Then going to be watching Tesla just in case. It's going to be like, every day down to start the week. Then bonds, and then SLDB, ARQT. I want to watch them, but I am worried about them simply because they are some of the lower liquidity biotech plays. So we'll see how that one plays out here, but we do have a little bit of time. I'm going to go to the bathroom real quick. Follow me on Instagram at The Trading Fraternity. When I come back, I hope you have some plays, baby. I will BRB. I will BRB.
Very, very quick last 15 seconds. Where would you take the biggest risk? I get the hedge, but where would you take the biggest risk?
Biggest risk is in, exactly as Jeff put it, better quality right now.
Okay. That's the team we've assembled post-Iowa. Don't worry, I'm sure you'll be back. We've got New Hampshire to get through and a heck of a lot more. It's my first U.S. election to live through in the States, so I'm excited. Jeff Sherman, Sanal Desai there on the markets coming up. Your morning calls. And later, Chris Harvey from Wells Fargo unveils his outlook for the earnings season. Had we downgraded our outlook so viscerally that the bar to achievement is really quite low. This has been
another water. That's cool. We can run it out. Good time. Well, actually, no, we have a couple more minutes. It's already 24. We're a little early. We got 2 more minutes. So, Chatadonia, that being said, you are here right now, bright and early. Tell me what you have, man. What's your first play of the day? Welcome back on Tuesday. The market a little rocky. What do you got for me, man? Rate cut odds all over the place. Let me know what you're working with. Post your first play in the chat. What do we have, baby? Oh, there they are. AMD calls. Unity call. Watching XLF, Microsoft, Boeing, Abivi puts, IWM, AMD calls. Average down on Baba. Boeing puts, Bros, 10 MNQs, Eura, NQ short, SPY calls. Rivian puts, URNM, Long ES, Datadog puts, Buying Bill, puts on Tesla, Tesla up, sell J&J, SPY credit spreads, puts on Truist Financial, whoa, LMT, Microsoft, short everything, Baidu, 115 weekly, Lotto, time to short XLF, long R&R, cash position, sell JPM, SLB, Amazon puts, good morning, SPY, Goldman Sachs, no cash for play, SPY puts, Neil calls, Tesla long, short everything. Good morning, Baidu. AMD calls, HD calls. Got Zim at 7. AMD 152 puts. Discovery puts. Long Netflix. Short airlines. SQQ, QQQ. HYG. Average down on SPY. Long ES 4780. Myrna. Tesla. Bros long term. PLD. Short QQQ. TECL. 3 times. Techland. Ghetto spread. Tesla calls. Shorting S&P 500. Doubling down on UVXY. SQQ. SPY. 470 put. Weeklies. Ghetto spread. Soybean long. Tesla long. Watching Tesla for sure. CAG to the LT. Puts on China. Tesla. LQDA puts. SPY 470. Short SLG. Where is NVIDIA? Selling Google into Square. Put. Josh calls in the final plays. Kava calls, Tesla short, closing the biddy long term and holding JP Morgan puts and Delta puts. My goodness. Not going to lie, I saw a lot of puts there. Chatadonia. I saw a lot of puts there. They ready to go, baby. They're ready to go. So, Chatadonia, I hope you're ready for another glorious week. Welcome to week number 3, and it is my honor every day, every week, before we do anything here, before we try to chase a dollar, before we try to enrich ourselves, we must pay homage to a very special group of people that has sacrificed more than most of us ever have and ever will, and I am talking about the veterans of the United States of America. So on behalf of the cult, the people here, the people not here, I want to give a huge special shout out all the active servicemen, past servicemen, anybody who has served this country, even their families, for real. Thank you for your dedication. Thank you for your service, regardless if anybody told you, oh, they gave you the love and support, whether you agreed with what they told you or not. Y'all made a commitment for people y'all don't even know. So God bless all of you, and thank you. And big shout out to anybody else out there giving back to their local communities, all the doctors, nurses, teachers, firefighters, police officers, the janitors, the coaches, the garbage men. You holding it down, you giving back. Way to be there, man, and way to keep your community running. But ladies and gentlemen, please rise. Place your right hand over your heart. Say it with me. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all, baby. Say the digits! Oh, it's game time, baby. Or nah, let's go. Oh, Chatadonia, it's game time. Are you ready? Welcome back. 3 days off, 4 days to trade. Are you ready for it, baby? Oh, my goodness. Chatadonia. So let's go again. Bonds getting absolutely wrecked. Rate cut odds are the things in question. Banks did good, but not good enough. So we'll see how it ends up playing out, my friend. We will see how it plays out. Oh, my goodness. We got 1 minute and 44 seconds until the bell. So if you have any questions, let me know. Now would be the time. Again, you have Christopher Waller in about an hour and a half. So we'll see. Again, those Boeing plays are in the money now. I don't know if those Deltas are going to go down too. Yeah, those are going down a little bit more, honestly. So we might get hooked up on that, and then we'll see where this all takes us and then go from there. Yeah, the banks did good, but they missed on certain segments. So, like, Goldman did good, but then they missed on FICC. And then I think Morgan Stanley did good, and then they missed on, what was it? Where was it? Morgan Stanley. They think they missed on FICC too. And then they beat with wealth management and investment banking. So it wasn't good, but it wasn't that bad. Dollars down, or dollars up because of the rate hike odds. Not only did things do bad in China and Asia and Japan, but literally, like, again, you have people on the ECB saying that they might not even cut rates anymore. So with the dollar and bonds right now, it's just tighter conditions, and it's all related to kind of throwing into doubt what's going to happen with rate cut odds. So the dollar is a big deal, and we've been saying that's kind of been the thing that's been slowing us down as of lately in terms of the market rally and whatnot. So we'll see how it all plays out. But, Chad, you got about 30 seconds. Drop that thumbs up on the video. Make sure you guys are subscribed. You have any questions, you let me know, and let's have a good time. Okay? Let's have a good time. Let's keep it clean. Let's keep it clean, baby. Let's keep it clean. Call out anything. Again, if you need anything else, you let me know. And get ready for a glorious 7 hours. Yeah, a lot of China data is coming out tonight. And so far, they've already been disappointing in many ways. That's kind of the awkward part about all of it. So we'll see. Round 1. Fight. Damn it, they're not even opening up the Boeing option chain yet. Scammers. They're scamming as usual. Let's see. Come on, what you got? Yeah, my Boeing options aren't updating yet. Assholes. So the chain is not open, even though we are $5 in the money, hopefully. Hopefully that does not change.
Order filled.
Aggressive bell. Yeah, we got multiple bells there. My bad. All right, nice. Did I sell it? I think so. All right, I got out of the Boeing for $5.50. We bought that one for $1, but that pays for all the other ones, and now all the other options are coming back to life a little bit. So, got out of the Boeing at $5.50. Again, that was, I think we got it for 80 cents actually, or $1. No, the other one was 80. We got it for $1. I'll take it. It could go up a little bit more, but I think they're going to scam on that chain. JD, all the China plays are getting absolutely wrecked. Again, Baidu too, they are dealing with the whole issue of potentially having the, what's it called? It's your boy. Which one was it? The Ernie bot. And then watch any of the other bank plays. I'm going to keep an eye on JP Morgan. Again, some of those other bank plays we have might come back to life. Let's see what we got here on Delta. All right. And then I sold out of the Delta for $2.15. So pretty much it paid for, we still lost a little, but if we could sell any of the other plays, you'll get more of your money back. So I sold out of the Delta at $2.15. Again, that was from Friday. Those were the earning plays. Boeing getting smashed. Going lower. We still have one more. Actually, damn, those other ones are coming back a little bit to life. The ones further out the money are not doing good. But yeah, damn, Boeing took another $2 down. Oof. Oh, I could have got like $7 for that one then. That would have been good. But yeah, Boeing's still getting murdered there. I'm going to take a look at any of the other bank plays. Again, the Bank of America put, you got $20. I mean, that one's almost at break even. I'm down to kind of hold that one. The Cities, a little bit washed. I don't know if the UNHs are going to come back. I doubt it. And that might be it. Yeah, so we'll see. Again, Bank of America, those might come back into the money. And then watch Boeing. Delta's still going down, but we got out of that one, though. But Delta now should have paid for all of the other plays. So if you keep holding Delta, that one should be able to work a little bit more for you. But for the most part now, you have, again, one play should have paid for the other like 4 or 5. The options didn't open. Boeing, it didn't for a little bit, but then it opened up. So you could have got an extra $2. And NVIDIA's hitting a 52-week high. Am I tripping out right now? So you do got some stuff working up here. And again, bonds are still going a little bit lower. AMD, the Fed futures, they were negative in the morning, and then they came back up after the what's it called? It was the Michigan was it Empire Manufacturing, not Michigan, the New York Manufacturing NY. AMD going crazy again. The chips are doing very, very good here. Damn, Delta's even selling off a little bit more. Baidu low of the day. Baidu's getting murked, man. That's so bad. It's not. The headline hasn't even hit. Excuse me. That's the crazy part. Baba's still down 2.5. Meta's up by 0.2. Google, so you have big tech doing good. Again, that outperformance versus value is still there. Supreme Court rejects Apple's request for Epic App Store review. Check Unity and Roblox. I feel like those could benefit off of it. Roblo dropping a little bit more again. NVIDIA 52-week high. NASDAQ down by 0.3. SPY down by 0.3. SPY was down a little bit more, and then Russell is down another 1%. HD ripping. It's up by 0.93. Honestly, there's a couple names still doing good. I see a lot of big tech killing it. Google's up by almost 1%. Amazon, again, I think they're negative. Meta's doing good. Apple is actually down a decent amount, 1.9. Again, I don't think people are feeling too optimistic on that one. And then we got out of the Delta, but damn, Delta kept going. So took that one a little too early. Yeah, now the Delta, you could have, you could have got 260, so you could have walked away with a smaller profit. Nice. And then again, Boeing is still getting clobbered. We have one of the Boeing plays back to life. That's a 200 put, so maybe those come to life. I don't know. Tesla tasty or nasty? I was like, Tesla tasty? What this mean? What this mean, Habibi? Again, ES doing pretty good. Again, SPY was a lot lower to start off the morning here. So we'll see how that one plays out. Apple. Oh, where are those two biotechs? What was it? SLDB and ARQT. I don't know if we have the same environment. These look liquid as shit, though. So be careful on that. Yeah, I don't know. The biotechs aren't really moving too much. Let's see. UNH, that one's holding. Where's ANSS? That one came down after the deal announcement. Tesla makes no sense. I think chips make no sense. Tesla is because Elon's pretty much saying he wants more shares. So, again, Elon is advocating for a higher compensation plan so that he could have 25% of the company. Otherwise, he says he's not going to make AI shit. This is all off a tweet, but pretty much that's it. Boeing hitting more highs. Oh, man, 208. That's GG if you have it. The other ones are coming back up, though. So that first one that we got demolished on, that other Boeing play is now back up. It's green. And then the ones further out the money are coming back up to break even. So we'll take it. Elon just greedy. I mean, it kind of makes sense, but at the same time, this is the same guy who sold out a big portion of his stake to buy other things like Twitter and God knows what else. But that's the general idea. He had more than 25%. That's the irony of all of it is that he already had the 25%, but remember the last couple of years he was dumping it at very, very high prices. Tesla at the low. Again, we were just talking about making a Tesla play on Friday. So remember, I was just telling you, man, it looked good, but it just keeps getting in that dump zone. Again, Tesla's only had one green day this year. So SPY trying to work its way down here, right below VWAP. See where that goes. Again, Boeing still holding on. Boeing is going. Bank of America, so we might get in the money on that play. Actually, those Bank of Americas are in the green. So the cities ain't playing along, though. We got 49.50 puts. Why don't we sell these? I'll get my $12 back. $10. I sold the city calls from earnings, so you got $12 back. Because again, we've already covered the amount with the deltas, so that's why I'm saying if you could get any money there, I'll keep the puts. They're worth another $12, but you could get $24 back. Goldman Sachs, David Solomon says potential for rate cuts this year has renewed optimism for soft landing. Mara broke 18. And then what is a Banco de America? And then one of the other Boeing plays is still doing good. Citi keeps flushing a little bit here. CPI is going to be in another month. Remember, we had CPI last week. Was it last week or 2 weeks ago? Yeah, it was non-farms and CPI. So if anything, the next event is going to be probably tech earnings next week, and then Jerome Powell and the Fed. And then this week we have retail sales and Michigan consumer sentiment and a little bit of real estate data. Yeah, banks and everything dumping. Bro, that Delta, I sold that one way too early. Gee, if you held that one would be money. That would probably give you another dollar right there. Jerome is January 31st. Roblo on the high. Again, maybe I think they're bouncing up from that Unity thing, the Unity Apple situation. But surprisingly, Unity didn't even go up. Microsoft slipping. Remember, they were doing killer the other day. They're still in the green. There's so many names, or not so many, but like your big tech names are just so green right now. It's kind of funny. You're down by 0.5 now, hitting another low. You're below the 47.65. So remember, we've kind of been dancing here. You did go below this on Thursday. So let's see how this plays out. But again, I think 47.46, we kind of panic there every single time after this little run-up. So watch out dollar and bonds. But again, both of those are the problem childs on the day. Dollar's up by 0.75%. Yeah, the dollar is a problem. Did I peep the 10-2? No. What's that? And yeah, the dollar creeping up. You think it's leading? Like I said, I don't know if it's leading or lagging. I just know if it goes up, we have a problem. If it goes down, the market likes it. But if we really start to dump, then it will show that it's the leader. But the way it's looking, I mean, the market should be really, really low. Because remember, we had that first pump here, and you saw how we dropped down. But last time the dollar was here, I mean, the market should be very, very low if that was the case. Oh, the 10-2. Oh, the 2-year, 10-year. I referenced it the other way around. But yeah, it did steepen a little bit, or an inverted, I think, a little bit more. And again, that is the fun fact of that. I think it's about 170 days. So if you pretty much, if we go another 170 days of the yield curve staying inverted, this will be the longest it's been inverted since 1929, which is a crazy fun fact. The dollar could be slowed down by other currencies, or, again, policy changing around, or if we make a policy mistake and the dollar instantly reverts. That could be another thing to keep in mind. 2/3 of America is frozen. UNG says, nah. Well, that's the thing. It's because it's already kind of moved up. It's going to be that game of musical chairs. So it might either pop middle of the day or later in the day, or wait till the next frozen headline. Not as Elsa, but yeah. Bitcoin ETFs in free fall. Boeing, a new low. Oh my gosh, bro. They hustled me on both of those option plays. We had 2 in the money plays. Those just kept going down. Again, Delta and Boeing. I got out of them early. Boeing was a nice profit, though, but the other Boeings are kind of coming back to life here. Natural gas. Well, everything is selling off today, to be fair. Let me see natural gas. Yeah, natural gas literally down 11%. Woof. 290. And then futures are dropping a bit, pretty big again, down by 0.5. Bonds are still going lower too. Procter Gamble on the up. I don't know if you have the balls for it, you could go for a natural gas dip buy, but it's pretty wild. MSOS new high. Oh shit! Wait a minute, are those plays in the money? They are. Nice. So the weed stock, those expire now, but you are in the money on those. They're up 100%. I'll take it. 75 to 90? Jeez. What are those? Oh, the calls? Did they sell? No. Really? All right. I sold out of the MSOS. 80 cents. Not bad. 30 cents to 80 cents. So a little bit more than 100% on those. Not the weed plays did go crazy there. So that was a two standard deviation, believe it or not. Tilray halted. Not bad off the weed head. Yeah, I was saying, man, he's going to be. And that play expires this week. I didn't know it was 8%, which is kind of wild. Goldman CEO says we have much stronger platform in 2024. Again, let me go back to those banks there. And then Boeing trying to come up here a little bit. Bank of America now, so we're in the money on that one put now. So, but that one, it's up, I guess you got 12 bucks. Actually, that's up 50%. No shit. So Bank of America, you're up 50%. It's only small. We only bought one for $25, and it's up by $12. So hence the 50% on that. 210 on Boeing. Coin going to hit 100. Is it really down like that? 127. I was like, dude, I thought it was up near like 150. So right in the middle. Apple on the low too. Again, Bank of America. Watch out for those. MO's on the high. AMD and those chip makers, they may start running up here again. Yeah, AMD's up 4%. Are you kidding me? Very awkward day considering all the negativity here. You do have just, again, AMD up 4%. I think Google was up by like 1% or something. So actually, they came back down. They're only up by 0.11 right now, but still. My goodness. And then Citi, they're still holding up a little bit. The chips running because of Taiwan, maybe? I think it's kind of hard to say. SNPS, Synopsys, they're going up, I think, unless they flipped. So again, you're getting like, it's like 1 or 0.7 shares, like 190 in cash, and then 0.3 shares of Synopsys. So Synopsys does keep running up. ANSS will eventually go up there with it. But we'll see how long that one lasts for. Yeah, Intel guy was on Bloomberg. He was talking politics. He was saying how he's kind of a lobbyist, or I guess that's the question they asked him. Chips running because of AI. AI hype is real. I don't know if there was like an event, though, overseas again or overnight, because everything kind of woke up pretty shitty. But, hey, we'll take it. We'll take it. All sectors red. Boeing still around 207. AMD 52-week high. They're up 4.5 right now. Yeah, you saw the Expedia AI. Yeah, I know. I want to try it out. I want to ask it very out-of-pocket questions and see what it comes up with. AMD had AI chip news. Oh, they did? I did not see that. Because it didn't come up on any of our pre-market things. Let's see. I see they were maintained at overweight at KeyBank, and then price target raised at KeyBank, overweight 195. I don't see any AI news. At least nothing showing up on mine. I got to leave earnings. What earnings are tonight? I checked the watch list, second link. I think we went over them, but there's a couple more banks, and then I think Prologis is another one. And then otherwise, I think Wednesday we're going to get a couple more of them. GM on the high. Again, Bank of America is still down. Boeing, back. Now Boeing keeps slipping, which is honestly, usually it does the reversal. That's why I wanted to sell out of those quick, but Boeing just sold off another 2.5 off the morning. GM is on the high. They're down by 0.39 still, but still working their way up. Apple's on the low. Apple's down like 1.9. NVIDIA hitting another high, 1.9%. They might be hitting a 52-week high. And then again, AMD, I think, is the clear winner and outperformer here on the day. ECB Centeno headlines. He says first quarter area GDP looking stagnant, difficult to gauge tightness of euro area. Should definitely avoid undershooting on inflation. Inflation trajectory is good. Just watch out if any of those ECB dudes, if they start saying no rate cuts again. Because, again, that was the one comment I think that kind of disturbed people over the weekend. And then bonds going lower. Uber is now in the green. Uber just woke up out of nowhere, so they're starting to go up. Check DoorDash, too. And then Coinbase is on the high now. So that one's a little bit of a flip. You guys thought that one was dying a little bit earlier. Goldman CFO says we have no additional updates regarding our credit card partnerships. BlackBerry on the high. Folk on the high.
Target filled.
Or is it Citi? Where's new low on the SPY again. So watch out. We're still kind of dumping. I think we're getting next to that danger zone. I wouldn't call it absolute danger zone, but again, anytime we have fell below 47.47, even working our way up, again, even last week, we had a lot of drama at this area here, but so far to start off, you're down like 20 points off the open, maybe almost 30 points off of the gap down, but you're getting near there. So watch 47.46. That would be a level. Chevron CEO sees dynamic and volatile risk in Red Sea. Damn, NG is still down. So that one's down 12.3. I don't know. I'm gonna watch it, but I don't want to get too tempted because if that gets even crazier, it gets very, very nutty, Habibi. Very, very nutty. AMD, $12 from all-time highs. It's at 52-week highs. That's crazy. It was higher? Yeah, no shit. 160. My goodness. And then PayPal, they're still down. Who was the other one here? Abivai. Abivai's down by 0.616. You're watching stream, but you can't find it. Try youtube.com/thestockmarket/live. And it should come up. If you can't find it after that, then it's because Donald Trump won the primary. I don't know. That's the only thing I could think of. Even then, you're like, what? What'd you just say? I know. I don't know. Coinbase going high. Another one. So Coinbase just flipped. Elf doing very well. They're holding up decent. Let's see if this SPY bounces around here a little bit before the level. But if it bounces right before the level, I don't know if I would believe this little pop. We might have to test. You're just so close to testing it. So we'll see here. And then again, bonds, nothing else playing along here. Dollar still keeps climbing. Dollar's up almost 1% on the day, man. So again, dollar goes up. We don't have a good day. And now the dollar, I don't know where the DXY is. Let's take a gander. $1.03. So dollar is now higher than the Fed. And then last time the dollar was here, believe it or not, this was like the low of August. So like end of August. Remember, I think we had a little bit of a shit show, no? Yeah, remember you had the little drop here. So last time the dollar was, so dollar is saying we should be much, much lower. So again, back to that whole, if you think the dollar is leading, the market could drop like 30 points. If the dollar, or I guess just last time the dollar was here, clearly there's a lot more of a different scenario. But then again, if the dollar keeps being a little problem child, then again, it's not too hot right there. AUD USD drops 1%, down the most since December 5. I think every currency is getting killed off the dollar. It's starting to wreck. Boeing, another flush. Oh my goodness. They got me out of another 4. We would have got $1,000 on that contract, I think.